What's up, guys? Unboxing video today. This unassuming white box is from East Coast Dyes. Sounds like there's some gravy in there. Sounds nothing like gravy. Sauce, maybe. Let's check it out. Alright, so I got this yesterday. It's still quite a few days away from release, but I'm gonna open it up and show you guys. I can't show you until release, but I think I wanted to have a video ready for when the 27th rolls around. Alright. I'll show you guys. Whoa, what's going on in there? That is the ECD Mirage head and a piece of unreleased hero mesh, some hero strings, and a screw. Look at that. This is the first head I've ever seen presented like this, with a little stand. Well, it's pretty awesome. Let's talk about this. I will read you the back. It says,
ECD Lacrosse.
The Mirage is built for the perfect pocket. We applied knowledge gained through years of stringing and used cutting-edge 3D printing technology to test and fine-tune our design. Every angle, string hole, and curve was specifically designed to build a perfect pocket, making the Mirage perfect for the elite offensive player.
pretty cool. There's the base. Very cool. Very good idea. Alright, so I haven't even really looked at this thing yet. Wow. This looks fantastic. See if you can, a little crab right there, ball stop, thin, you know, just barely elevated, but it's cool looking. Where do we start? There's the sidewall, which I'm sure we're all very curious about. Top sidewall holes are really like narrow ovals, but they're long, which I like. You don't necessarily need the wide holes for the top side, but the longer ones, the elongated ovals, that's great for getting multiple strings through. That's a nice design. A lot of sidewall holes, spacing looks good. Same size at the bottom, I believe, from 1, 2, 3 down here. From like here down, they're all pretty much the same. These bottom ones might be slightly bigger. So it says Mirage on both sides. It's got the crab, this little X pattern here. Some really nice texture in here, which is kind of cool. Made in the USA here. One screw hole, which I think we kind of expected from having seen the Carbon Pro. Let's see what that looks like. Perfect fit. Wow, really perfect fit. So this obviously isn't a full review because I haven't used it yet. This is just kind of an unveiling, just kind of a first impressions. And my first impressions are, I'm blown away by it. I love the shape. I can just see so much potential in this. That's nice. This thing is light. Let's go get the scale. All right, so this falls in the category of light heads. It is 4.7 ounces, 132 grams, light. It's an Attackman O-MIDI head, but you know, D-MIDIs could use it. It's you know, it's not overly stiff, but it's not floppy by any means. You're a D player and you want to use it just because you want to support East Coast Dyes, then you know it'll work. But really, I mean, Attackman and MIDIs, you know, this head will absolutely work for you. The fit, the finish, the overall look and feel, it's top notch. I mean, a lot of people were complaining about how long it took to release it. You know, they had the 3D printed model at LaxCon, and you know, people, what is it, 8 months later, something like that, 9 months later. People are still, you know, kind of moaning and groaning about how long it's taken. Think about what goes into this. The design, the testing, the refining, you know, there's a lot that goes into a head, so getting it to market when it's ready is way more important than rushing it to market. You rush to market with something that's not high quality, And that's gonna stick with you for your next head and for your third head. Oh, remember the Mirage, what a failure that was? So what they did is they took their time and they did it right, and they really did it right. This head, this is for real, guys. So like rectangle top string holes, you know, a little curve on the sides, plenty big for leathers, good spacing, you know, it looks to be perfect. Bottom string holes, they're a little cramped for a traditional. You know, there's room to spread them out a little bit, maybe on generation 2 or whatever. But really, I mean, it'll still work. It's looking like a mid-low, which, you know, if we're talking about offensive players, you know, that one-handed vertical cradling. You know, you don't want it sitting high, so that's like about perfect for an attackman. What else can I say about this, guys? It's a thing of beauty, and they did a heck of a job, and I'm very impressed. I'm gonna throw it on this Carbon Pro here. I think this will be the setup that people are gonna want for the upcoming season. This head's gonna blow up. Like, it's you know, East Coast Dies is popular for a reason, and really, you know, any of you kids who are looking to go into business, looking to be entrepreneurs, or in business school now, if I were teaching a business class now, I would use East Coast Dies as a case study. Absolutely. What they exemplify is not resting on your achievements, not sitting back on your laurels, patting yourself on the back. So what, you know, when they achieved a certain level of success, they pushed. They were selling wax mesh, and they got popular doing so, and they were selling, you know, quite a bit of it. And they didn't sit back on that. They pushed forward to the next thing, always reinvesting, always growing. And, you know, now look at them. I know, like a lot of you, you know, I was there since day one watching Greg's videos. You know, I was making videos at the same time, dye videos and this and that. And I found him because I was interested in what are other people doing. And so being along for the ride, you know, it was fun to see happen. It was fun to see them blow up because they're good guys. They obviously are, you know, pretty chill individuals, humble. You know, nothing makes me cringe harder than someone who talks about how great they are. You know, talking about how great your company is and how you're doing well, or how the company is developing great products, perfect. But when you start talking about how great you are individually, that's rough, and that turns a lot of people off of companies. They've never done that. They've always been very humble, and, you know, truthfully, they've got a lot to be proud of. They've got a lot to pat themselves on the back with. But, you know, this is really, in the grand scheme of things, in the timeline of businesses, they're just at the beginning. This is still a new company, and so, you know, who knows what's going to happen in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. You know, 20 years. East Coast Dies could be traded publicly eventually. You know, I mean, it's going to be a big deal, and I'm sure we'll see some protective equipment eventually. I mean, the sky's the limit, especially for a group of guys who pushes the way they do, who pushes to the next level. You know, continuous improvement is, you know, it's a nice buzzword. It's a nice phrase, but a lot of companies don't practice it. And they definitely understand it, and they do it. So that setup, guys, that's money. Carbon Pro with a Mirage. Man, it's light. This whole thing is light. This mesh, I don't know if this is ever going to get released or not, or if, you know, some of the people that they sent the head out too early get the special piece. It's going to look great in there with the Carbon Pro. Colors are going to match. I'm excited about this. I'm sure they are, because they're about to blow up even more. Very good job, fellas. I think a lot of us who have been there since the early days of the YouTube videos were invested. You know, we like to see the success, and I personally love to see it. I think it's awesome, and I think it kind of gives me hope for, because you got, you know, East Coast Dies, they're a lot younger than me, but it gives me hope for the future of, you know, of the U.S. and our economy and our young people who can just decide to do something and do it. You know, it's a real American success story, and I think that's awesome. So guys, I don't know what the price is on this yet. I mean, I don't think they've released a lot of information. You know, we're still a few days away from release of this, so I guess we'll see. All right, guys, it's release day. So online retailers, stores, they all have it. Go get it. This thing is cool. Very nice head. I decided to string it up with the mesh they sent. It might be kind of hard to see with this backdrop, but it's a nice channeled pocket. Ball's gonna sit right there. No shooters yet, but that'll come. It's just I'll go over the pattern just in case people pick it up and wanna string it up right away. I'll show you what I did. This may not be for everyone, but I'll adjust the camera and show you what it's all about. All right, guys, so let's go over what I did on this. It's nothing too fancy, straightforward, mid-low, shifty to low. So it's 9 diamond top. Use the first sidewall hole for the top string. I started the sidewall on the 3rd sidewall hole. As you can see, the sidewall holes are plenty big enough to go around twice, which is lovely. So let's just walk through this. Tie off on the 3rd, skip the 4th, knot on the 5th, skip the 6th, KSI on the 7th, skip the 8th, KSI on the 9th, skip the 10th, KSI on the 11th, stacked interlock on the 12th, knot on the 13th, 1 on 14, 1 on 15, 1 on 16, and then I tied off on 17 and 18. What I do is I go through the 9 diamond row. I do this often. I'll explain in a minute. 9 diamond row and then come back out on the 18th hole, on the last hole. So I use 9 diamond hole often on like low pockets, mid lows, or shifty lows, because I think that extra pinch by tying off on 9 right here gives you a little extra hold on the ball without being illegal. Like it can be illegal. Like on some heads, if you tie off on 9, it will pinch too much in there and it won't sit. But you know, if you're a one-handed vertical cradler, you know, a ball sitting in there securely is a wonderful thing when it's within the rules. So that's kind of why I do that, but you got to play around with that. I actually haven't tested it with a ball yet. It looks like it's gonna roll out nicely. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Go pick up a Mirage from East Coast Eyes. This is a fantastic head. I'm pumped. All right, I'll see you next video.